in reality, it helped me realize that there is no magic pill, right? In any part of my life. But it also did something that I didn't expect. It elevated my standards, right? Both as an owner of my business and in my life, right? So, and it, not just for me. So my wife plays a huge role in the firm. She's at every event that I go to, she comes along with, and we've elevated our lives as a couple. We don't deal with bullshit from people anymore. My wife was a serial coal shopper, had to have 50 items, probably spending the amount of money that you could go and buy one item for, right? So instead of buying the cheap, going to the dollar store and buying something that's crap, going to break in 2 weeks, we now will go buy it from a store that will have a better quality item. So there's that standard that's changed. But in terms of my firm, it's also gotten me to look at things differently. In the sense of now I would think of, if I had to spend $10,000 on something before, I would say, holy shit, I got to spend $10,000. Now I can sit down and spend $20,000 or $30,000 and look at it as it's not a big deal. It's going to take me this number of clients to get that back. Which, when you look at things that way, it makes life a little bit easier. You don't feel so stressed spending the money when you have to spend it, which is a huge relief. And I want to say the absolute biggest thing was I did a mastermind that made me come to the realization that I need to stop listening to everybody's advice and taking it to heart. Because what it was doing was it was fucking with my head, and it was causing my wife and I had to tension because I was hiding the fact that the firm was sinking, right? Because I was so embarrassed. It was, and then the other great part of it is I made a ton of friends in the legal community. I kind of tried to stay isolated because I didn't like a lot of the attorneys in my area where I was working. So it's given me a lot of benefits, more than I would have ever expected. Some changes that have occurred in my life is, so I've been able to go and drop off my daughter at school and pick her up from school every day. Not something I think I could have done before, because if I everything kind of could have imploded because the firm was relying just on me, right? So that was one benefit. We've paid down a ton of debt personally and in the business in the last year because now I've got the skills to manage the money better. Um, our life is starting to look a little bit better. We see the light at the tunnel where we sit down as a couple and look at the figures of our business. My wife gets a report every first of the month, show what we did last month. It makes the fights that were occurring over money not occur, because now she sees what's going on. She could see why I was so stressed out one month, or she could see where my embarrassment was occurring in the past. I was very embarrassed about the fact that my firm was not producing the money I needed it to produce for my family. So she was able to see all those things. We do things as a couple now. Um, when it comes to spending money, we don't think as much as we used to. So one of the greatest things that happened in 2020 is I put myself on payroll. So I'm automatically making more money than I was in previous years because I wasn't paying myself consistently in previous years, right? So what I do now is I get paid every 2 weeks. I get the same salary as another attorney in the office. But the benefit I get is I get profit distributions, right? Nobody else in the firm takes profit distributions because nobody else owns it. So our income probably this year, I'm going to be at 75% more than last year. So last year, I think we made like $25,000 take home. This year already we're at 75 or $80,000. So it's a big jump. And we're in October, November, and December. We already have our projections, and it looks like we're going to be even. I should be able to take home another $30,000 or $40,000 this year. So look at it from last year, making 20,000 take home to 140, right? If I did the math right, somewhere around there, it's a big difference.